Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I welcome you, brothers and sisters, to this channel. Thank God for giving us the opportunity to be here today to discuss these few things that God has put in our mind. Today, I'll be discussing the story of the Bible, how Africans see the story of the Bible. What is my reason for bringing this topic today? It's because many Africans think that the story that is in the Bible is the story of the European people or the so-called white people. That is why many Africans, when you go to their churches, in the altar or the pulpit, they put pictures of the so-called white Jesus, because they think that the Bible, the people that the Bible was talking about, was so-called whites. I want to start by making us understand that, first of all, Israel, that the Bible talks about, or as we understand that the Bible, the people that asked that story were the people of Israel. Israel was never a European country. Israel was never a country where white people were dwelling at. That's a country where white people were staying in. Israel has never been a country for white people, or a country where white people stay in. But Israel is a country of black. So black, let me use the name because I don't usually like to use those names, black, white. Israel is a country where black people were dwelling in. Israel, as they call it today, Middle East, has never been called, never in the Bible called Middle East. There's no place called Middle East. Though in the Bible there's also no place called Africa. But Israel is part of the place that is called today Africa. Israel is part of the black people's land, Africa, as they call it today. Though in the map, you might see that Arabic Peninsula, you see there's a little canal there. That canal in Egypt was dug first by the Israelites, then by the British. They dug those canals because why? Because their plans were to deceive people. They came to Africa calling themselves Christians, or saying they brought Christianity. It was all lie. That is why when they came to Africa, they invaded Africa, they took away every history, every book that we had, that we relate us as Africans to that place called Israel, or we relate that place called Israel to us as Africans. Now let us start the story. First, Israel is in the land called today Middle East, or the Arabic Peninsula, which normally we know is part of Africa. What was their reason for relocating those Europeans after the Second World War to that place to make the story seems real, because they know that with time, with the passing away of people that knew the story and the coming of a new generation, people seeing in that land called Israel that there are so-called white people over there, we think that land belongs to the so-called white people. Then people will think that Israel has always been a land of white people. So for that reason, the Bible is talking about them, white people. But that is not true. That is not true at all. The Bible is the story of black people. Israel is the land of black people. No Europeans, no, has ever been Christian. They call themselves, they claim to be Christians. You see, when Romans went to Israel to take it before, that's about 2 centuries before Christ, they took that land, or a century before Christ. They took that land having a plan in their mind, having a plan of deception in their mind. That was when they planned to make that place or the story of the Bible look as if it was their story started. We knew that after Christ, many Jews or many people called the Israelites were driven away from that place. And many of them went towards south, towards Africa. And after the Second World War, and that land, let me quickly put this one, that land by the authority of the Roman Emperor was given to Palestine. And they gave the name Palestine to that place, that land. After the Second World War, to finalize their plan, they took converts that at that time were also staying in Israel that knew how to speak Hebrew. They took them from Europe and took them to that land. Converts, Kazakhs, people that Caucasians, people that was white, they took them from Europe and go and put them there to make the story seem real. Were they Christians? No, they were not. That is why even today, as me, I'm talking to you people, the people that are there, that now live there in Israel, they call themselves Jews, the so-called Jews. They practice Judaism, not Christianity. They are not Christians. They don't even want to hear about what we Christians say. Because why? Because they are never and were never Christians. These were all plans of the people so-called white. Now I'll start. You see, the story started very long time ago. All these plans started a long time ago because they wanted us as Africans to believe they are the one that own that land. No, it is not true. That's why they did what they did. It was all deceit. That being said, why did I come really to discuss this story today? It is because why many Africans, even this day and age, how they think about this story, the Bible, the people that are it. I hear from many people, most of the time, they will say, we Christians, we are following the white man's religion. Even many Africans say this word, that Christianity is a white man's religion. Is that true? That is not true at all. Also, there was also a video the other day I was watching on YouTube. There was a church in Africa, to be precise, in Nigeria. This person who was the pastor of this church, he designed the altar with different pictures of this so-called white Jesus. Blue eyes, long hair, blonde hair. The picture was all in the altar, that's in the pulpit. And that is, it's not the only person. Not only in Africa or specifically in Nigeria. In many African countries, even in most churches in America. It's not the only one at all. That's even in black churches in America. That's what I mean to say. They put pictures of this person that the Catholic brought and say it was Jesus Christ, was the picture of Jesus Christ. Even in this day and age, knowing that nobody has the picture of Jesus Christ, people put this picture in the altar. What am I trying to say? Any person that attends such churches, they should know that they serve idol. They worship idol. That they don't worship God. They don't worship Christ. Because God said that no image of any man should be put in the altar. Not even man. No image of of any created thing. Whether it be man, be animal, it be bird that flies in the air, whether it be a beast or fish of the sea, whatever animal, no image should be put in the altar. Because why? If you put any image, the Bible said, for thou have not seen God. So for that reason, no image should be put in the altar. If you do that, that is idolatry. And I wonder, why would this person put this so-called pastor put this picture, design the altar with this white Jesus picture, and people still go there in that church, bow down before that altar and be praying, go before that altar and praying. It's a shame. People should understand, should be wise. Wherever you go, whatever picture is in the altar, that is what you are serving. If it's a picture of a beast, you are serving that beast. The demon that is in that beast, that's what you are serving. If it's a picture of a man, the demon that is behind that picture, that's what you are serving. I think people should be wise. Most especially people that call themselves Christian. They should know more than this. So they invented this picture and this whole lies to deceive people. But if you look at the Bible, you understand that Israelites were not white. Jesus Christ was not white. David was not white. People that came from Israel at that time, that is in the Bible, were not white. They were Africans, blacks. Not Africans, but they were blacks. Another thing I hear is that religion that they brought, they also say, which I've spoken about some time ago, they also say that white people brought this religion. From where did they bring the religion? From where? They came with deceit, wanted to deceive people. That's why they came with the Bible when they came to Africa. Like I said before, they remove every history that we have. They destroyed all so that we will not know. And they brought their changed Bible. They brought it to us saying that they knew God, that they are Christians. They are not. They are not Christians. They came only to deceive. Look at them today. They call themselves Christians. See what they have did, what they have done in the old world, what they have done in the name of the religion that they carry along, Christianity. They have done havoc. Anywhere they went, destruction followed them. Who are the Bible said that Satan came to kill, to steal, and to destroy. They work for the devil. That's why anywhere they went to, destruction followed them. No, they never came with the real heart of being. They never came with the spirit of God or with the attitude of a Christian. They came to steal, to kill, and to destroy, to take and to loot. That's what they came to do in Africa. And they came in the name of religion, Christianity. Before they came, we knew what religion was, Christianity was. Because this also brings me to the story. You see, if you go to the story of the Bible, right from the time of Abraham, whom we know is the father of faith, the father of the Jews, of the Israelites, because he gave birth to Isaac, and Isaac, by the promise of God to Abraham, Isaac gave birth to Esau and Jacob. Jacob gave birth to the 12 tribes that is now called the 12 tribes of Israel, because Jacob was Israel. His name was changed after he fought with the angel of God, and was now given Jacob Israel. Because why? Because he fought with God and prevailed. That was why the name was changed from Jacob to Israel. And his children, the 12 sons that he had, were the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, let us start to the story. If we understood right from the beginning of the Bible, Abraham took Sarah for wife, went to Egypt for succor when there was famine in the land, where God asked him to come to the land of Canaan, which is now named Israel, the land of Canaan. When God asked him to leave the land of the Chaldeans, Hall of Chaldeans, where he and his family were staying, and his father and his brothers, that is in Babylon. When God asked him to leave that place, that he will bless him, he left and he came to Canaan, where God showed him. He stayed there. While there was famine, he went to Egypt. And we knew and we understand that Abraham was a just man, a friend of God. He preached the gospel of God. He went to Egypt and he stayed there for many years. Then, the people of Egypt knew him, that he was a prophet of God. Because why? Because Amos, in those years of sojourning there in Egypt, spoke to them about God. Yes. Let us move forward. Fast forward to the story of Isaac. Again, Isaac, when after Abraham was dead, Isaac, while there was again famine in that land Canaan, which is today Israel, Isaac also moved to Egypt. He stayed there for many years till the famine was over, and he came back again to the land which God has promised them, Canaan, which is today Israel. Now, these people, because why? Because that land Israel was part of this continent called Africa. They were always going to Africa. They always go to Egypt. Even they were always going to Egypt when there's any problem in the land where God has given to them. Even before they took it as their own land, their promised land, because the land was taken at the time of Moses. But even before this land was taken, the time of Abraham, that came first from Babylon, the not called Iraq today, came down from Chaldean, the city of Ur, came to Canaan, where God asked him to come to sojourn. Even at that time, When God told him, this land I will give it to your children, he was there. Isaac was there. They all went to Egypt, all of them. Now let us come to the time of Moses. Fast forward to the time of Moses. We understood that Jacob, which is called Israel, and his 12 children, also in his time, when there was famine again in the land, Jacob, you see, when we talk about Egypt, let us remember that at that time in those days, those were only the places where people were staying, were living in, because at that time the world was just from Iraq, that's Babylon, which is called Iraq today, Babylon, Canaan, and Egypt. That were where people were staying, and Ethiopia, Midian, all those areas. The Arabic Peninsula around that place, Egypt, up to Ethiopia, to Eritrea, to Kenya, all those places. That were where people were staying. The few people that were alive at that time, we are talking about this time, we are talking about is almost 3,000 years ago. There were not much people. There was no the people have not went far to other places where they were land. No, those were where people were at that time. Then when the famine started again, I digress a bit. When the famine started again, the time of Jacob, we remember before the famine started, Joseph went to Egypt, Africa, as they call it today. And even Egypt, that is the same thing they did in Egypt. Let me quickly take our mind back. They went to Egypt, colonized that place, and they mixed up with those people, and they changed the demography of that place. They changed the system, the people. When you go to Egypt today, you see most white people. No, they were not. Egypt were also occupied by dark skinned people. Now, to bring to our mind what they also did, all their plans to deceive. Why Joseph was sold to Egypt, we understood. We that are Christians or that understood the Bible, we knew what happened. I just want to be fast in this video so that it will not be too long. So I will not tell the whole story. So if you want to read these stories, go to Genesis. It's in the Bible, Genesis from chapter 12. Yes, from chapter 12. Or even no, Genesis from chapter 12. Yes, I'm right. Genesis from chapter 12. You see everything there. The promise to Abraham. That's how it started. The promise to Abraham. So you read from there. Even it will be better you read from even the whole book of Genesis from the beginning, so that you get this story very well. But chapter 12 is where the story I'm talking about here really starts from. When we want to relate to the Bible now, to see if what we are saying or what I'm saying is true, or if the so-called Europeans or white people, as their plan was to deceive, to make people think that Israel as it is today, that was how it was in the time of the Bible. It's not really them, because that is what they have planted in the mind of men, most especially African people. That's why African people today, they use their own mouth to say that the Bible or the Bible is the story of the white people, or Christianity is the religion of white people, or like I said before, they have been brainwashed and they put white pictures in their altar, worshipping it as the picture of Jesus Christ. I don't know where they come from. What their thinkings, their reasoning, where it is, I don't know. So that is how the story starts. The story I'm talking about now. Abraham, God promised Abraham, asked him to go to Canaan, which is today called Israel. How Abraham, in the time of famine, he and his wife went to Egypt. Now, Isaac, in the time of famine, also went to Egypt. Then in the time of the son of Isaac, Jacob, which is called Israel, like I said before, the reason why his name was changed to Israel. When in this time, Joseph, his son, was sold to Egypt, and we understood that after everything that has happened to him, being in prison, came out to become the governor of Egypt. Now, when there was famine in Canaan, in Israel, today Israel, Canaan, his brothers went and buy foodstuff in Egypt. And after the famine continued, Joseph, after they were now made known to, or it was now made known to them, he asked them to go and bring his father, bring all their family, and all of them came to abide in Egypt. Now, listen very carefully to what I'm trying to prove here. These are the people that this book, the Bible, is talking about. These are the people that have the story. These are the people that have the covenant. These are the people that have the commandment of God. They lived in Egypt. And we know in that time, Egypt were of black people. Egypt was an African, as they call it today, continent. Like I said at the beginning, even Israel, all those Arabic Peninsula, or Arabian Peninsula as they call it, is Africa. Iraq, that place where they are, they call Middle East, is all Africa continent. They changed the name to deceive people, to make it seem like this place is so far from us. So this story cannot be our story. No, this is our story. Then Joseph was there as a governor. The family came to meet him. All of them stayed there for 400 more years. About 430 years they stayed there in Egypt. The Bible told us that they went in few, but they came out in millions. These people, why I said they have the covenant, they have the commandment, they have everything. Because why did I say that? Because they were the people of God, chosen of God, but was brought and birthed in Africa. When it came to the time of Moses, we knew he was born in Egypt. He was trained by the king Pharaoh, because he was called Pharaoh's daughter, because the lady abducted him while he found him by the water, and that's where his name came from. Moses, he that was fetched by the water. Now, he was trained, became one of the king's son, favorite son. Something happened and he fled to Midian. From Midian, God called him to go back to Egypt. You see, this story I'm talking about, like I say, if you go to the Bible, you see it there from Genesis chapter 12. You see it there. I just don't want to, otherwise I would have been reading the Bible to prove my point, to prove these points to anyone that will listen to this video. But I know you guys all know it. Then Moses went there and brought the people out by the power of God, and he brought them back to the place that God has promised them, to Canaan, that we call today Israel. You see, these people are all Africans. We remember Moses have an Ethiopian wife. We remember they stayed in Egypt. We remember Joseph has an Egyptian wife. All his two children were born there. Moses was born there. All of them, many of them, millions of them, of the people of Israel, came out from that continent called Africa. They were born there. So if you look at the Bible, whom story will you say it is? It is the story of the Africans. Even though they try to deceive, but thank God, the wisdom, the revelation was it was revealed to us that they have deceived people. The knowledge came that they have deceived. They did all. They did all. to hide the truth from men, because it was an agenda that has been planned more than 4,000 years ago, even before God created the whole world, before God created man. This was the planned work. You see, though we must say men, agenda by men. No. This was an agenda by the devil to deceive human beings, to lead human beings astray. You see, when we talk about devil use human beings. Yes, that's why this agenda or propaganda came up from the time of the Romans, to deceive people, to make people think that this book. That's why in the time of the Romans, when Catholic was almost the dominant power or the dominant religion, they tried to eliminate the Bible. They kept the Bible, they hid it from everybody, because they did not want this truth to come out. Even while the truth came out, even while many denominations fell out and broke out of this religion that was called Catholic, that the Romans invented, they followed the doctrines of the Catholic. That's why today, Church of England, the Anglican, the Orthodox, all of them, even most evangelical churches, they are following the doctrines of the devil, doctrines of the Catholic that they give them. Now that's another story anyway. But all was to deceive people. So these people that we are talking about, that you just spoke about, from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, that was called Israel, his 12 sons, how they went to Egypt, how they came out in millions. Now, let us fast forward again to the time of Jesus Christ, whom we call our Savior. And many people might say, okay, Jesus Christ, no, Jesus Christ was yes, Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem. Bethlehem was in Africa, because Bethlehem is in Israel. And when Herod also wanted to kill him, God asked the father, or the earthly father, as we call him, and Mary, to take him to Egypt. And from Egypt, God also called him out. Yes, the Savior of the world was also called out of Egypt. So what am I trying to say? When people come and say this book is a book of the white people, or this religion is the religion of the white people, no, it's a lie. Christianity is a religion of God, or I might not even call it religion. Christianity is the story of black people, or the Bible is the story of black people. The religion that they formed out of it, that is called Christianity, is what they formed. The Europeans, they formed and invented that religion, Christianity, because their mind was to deceive people. Their plan was to deceive people. All that they have in mind was to use it for their own gain. But spirituality, or according to what we understood Jesus Christ established, was a relationship of we human being creation of God, created by God, a relationship of us with our Creator, God Almighty. That's what Jesus Christ came to establish. He came to establish a new covenant, not as the covenant that God did with our fathers in the Old Testament that they broke, but a new covenant. And he proved and he said that in this new covenant, his laws will be written in our hearts. And we don't need, no person will be telling his brother or anyone that you should know God. He said every man will know God, from the least to the greatest. That is the new covenant. A relationship with us, of us human being, with our Father, the Creator. Yes, the so-called white invented the religion Christianity, because religion does not save. Religion was what the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and the scribes were practicing in the time of Jesus Christ. And we knew, according to the Bible, how Jesus Christ kicked against their practices. How he said they placed burdens upon the shoulders of men, but they themselves, they will not touch it with their finger. He said they are not ready to enter into the kingdom of heaven, and they will not allow other, they will not allow other to also enter. They stand in a way of people being safe. Religion, that's what religion does. But the true Christianity, or the true religion of God, is having a relationship with the Father through his Son Jesus Christ, because he came to give himself for us. So I just want to use this opportunity to speak to us concerning this thing, this misconception of what the Bible really is, or the story of whom the Bible talks about. It does not talk about those people that today are in Israel. Even in the time of old, in the time of the Bible, Paul said that it's not all that are Israelites that are Israel. Or let me say it like this: not all that are in that place called Israel that are that are Israelites. Many are so-called many Israelites, but many of them are not. The people that are there today are not Israelites. If you understand, right from the time of old, even before the time I started to quote from the time of Abraham, we knew that place, or let me say, from when the Bible started to mention the people of Israel, that's when the story of Israelites started, from the time of Jacob, when he gave birth to 12 sons and they gave birth to other children. When the story of Israelites started, when they came out of Egypt by the hand of Moses, or by the hand of God through Moses, we knew that after then, many times, Nebuchadnezzar went there, he took all of them captive. He removed people that are Israelites from the city, and he put people that were not Israelites, people of other nations, he brought them there. Because why? Because God was punishing them, the people of Israel, because they disobeyed the commandment of God that God gave to them through Moses. Because in the time of Moses, God said through Moses, if they disobey the commandment, the law that is given them, he will do such and such and such to them. Everything is there in Genesis. Is there in Deuteronomy. If you read Deuteronomy, you see all there. When Moses was warning them that if they go against the will of God or the commandment of God, this is what God will do to them. How they will go back to Egypt in ships, how they will go captive in other nations, how he will remove them. God said this to them, how he will remove them and put other people there in Israel. These things were repeated many times, because God sent to them prophets to warn them, but they will not stop, they will not change from their evil ways. That was when Nebuchadnezzar came first. After, even twice, Nebuchadnezzar came and took them. And other kings that follow, Belshazzar, what's his name, Cyrus, all of them, many kings came and were destroying Israel, taking them out, They will come back, God will bring them again, they will do the same thing. God will send people against them, they will come destroy them. So that place in many years before the time of Jesus Christ, have new foreign people who came to occupy that place that are not Israelites. So the story of the Bible is not about them as they want us to understand, or as they want us to think it is. No, it's not. It's about the dark-skinned people. I might not call them Africans, but it is about the dark-skinned people. That is whom the story of the Bible is about. The real Jews are dark-skinned people. So we that are dark-skinned people, we own this story. we are people that we knew God even before they came to us saying that they brought what they call Christianity. We knew God. God has always been in our midst. I hope this we answer some of the questions that many of us are having. Most especially, I see surprised, like I said, many Africans, even today, still think that the people that are there in Israel are the real Israelites. They think that Jesus Christ is a white-skinned person. They think that this Bible, the stories that are there, is of white-skinned people. No, it's not. It is the story of the dark-skinned people. Jesus Christ was a dark-skinned person. Moses is a dark-skinned person. Abraham a dark-skinned person. Jacob is a dark-skinned person. Isaac a dark-skinned person. Solomon a dark-skinned person. Even to Paul, if you look at the Bible, it is there. When a centurion, the centurion of the Italian centurion, a captain of the Italian soldiers of Italian band, when he met Paul, that it was when they tried to kill him, the poor of Israel, the Jews, when they tried to kill him because they said he was preaching and condemning their religion in Ephesus or other places where they said he was preaching. And when they saw him in the temple, they took hold of him. They wanted to kill him. So the captain that came, the Italian captain of the captain of the Italian soldier that came to rescue him, also an Italian, or wherever I may come from, I don't know, was referring to Paul that, are you not the Egyptian who caused havoc in the city and make the people revolt, that we went after, we pursued even up to the desert and took us down to the desert? And Paul said it was not him. How did he refer to him? He said, are you not the Egyptian? The Egyptian. Because meaning he looked as Paul as a dark-skinned person, because we know that Egyptians were dark-skinned people. And Paul said, no, he's not an Egyptian. That is of Israel. It's an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. We know this is Jeremiah was a dark-skinned person. It's in the Bible. All of them were black people, as they call us today. Anyway, I hope that is enough. If you still have that about this stuff, you can go read your Bible. You see it, all is there. Jeremiah talks about his own self as black in Lamentation. Solomon talk about his own self as black in the Songs of Solomon. We knew that David, according to history, was a black person. As I just said now, so in Acts of the Apostles, Paul was also referred to as a black person. And we know that Paul was after Jesus Christ less than 2,000 years ago. So Paul was also an Israelite, but was also looked at as a black person, even at that time. Meaning all of them were blacks. May God bless you. Keep yourself safe. Be blessed. Share this video. If you have any question, feel free to leave it on the comment section. We'll see and we'll discuss whatever questions or doubts that you have. May God bless you and speak to your heart. In Jesus' name. Bye-bye. Stay safe.